breaking news, breaking news. The Eagles got themselves a running back. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here. We got some breaking news. The Eagles finally got themselves a big running back, and I'm so excited. Not because the Eagles got a big running back, because it's baby making night. But truthfully, the Eagles did get themselves a running back. What do you guys think about this? Is this going to shock the world or not? Probably not. But the Eagles got themselves a running back. Former 49ers, and this is from E.J. Smith, former 49ers third-round pick Tyrion Davis-Price is signing a reserves future contract with the Pound Eagles. He got 40 carries for a whopping 120 yards since getting drafted in 2022, played college ball at LSU. Elite Loyalty Sports wrote this: congratulations to our very own Tyrion Davis-Price on signing the biggest future contract in the league, the best contract out of 396 this year. Don't mind him. He's writing history. Ball out in Philly, Ty. So, Tyrion Davis-Price is an Eagle. What does that absolutely mean? I don't know. We have seen the Eagles get running backs, get big running backs, and then just never use them. Just look at Rashad Penny last year. So, what is he realistically? He's just somebody that's coming into camp. Don't know what to expect. I do like his size, though. 6'1", and that's a pause. But he's 6'1", 219 pounds, 23 years old, from LSU. And from what I've seen of him, he doesn't look bad at all. Will he make this team? I don't know. It's hard to say. I see this really as a guy to bring into camp, a guy maybe that you want to develop next year. Wouldn't expect much from him. However, what's interesting about this, and I guess that raised some eyebrows, was that he's the highest paid future contract. The Eagles thought enough of him to offer him the most money out of any future contract that has happened in the NFL. So it's a guy to watch. I wish him nothing but luck. I don't know what to expect, truthfully. Do the Eagles need a running back? Hell yeah, they need a running back. And they need to start with keeping DeAndre Swift. That would be, what I would like to see. But, we talked about that yesterday. We obviously know that the Eagles need running backs. The Eagles need a lot of things, okay? And one of the things the Eagles definitely don't need, in my opinion, they don't need to be playing in Brazil. We don't need to be playing in Brazil on a Friday. Not that I have anything against Brazil. I'm sure it's beautiful. Never been there. Would I go one day? Yeah, I would love to go. But Peter King, he said this. He says he's feeling good about the NFL scheduling the Browns versus Eagles week 1 in Brazil. So he's thinking the Eagles are going to open up the season at home, which is not really home, it's really in Brazil, playing the Cleveland Browns. Big whoopity-doo on a Friday. This bothers me so much. I absolutely hate this. Home opener in another country? I think your home opener should be in a home opener. Why can't they just say, each team who plays away gets one less home and road game, and make it just an even game on an even field. I hate the fact that they're acting like the Eagles are playing at home. The Eagles aren't playing at home. They're playing in Brazil. If Eagle fans are there, a lot of us, we won't even know what they're saying. They'll be speaking Portuguese or whatever it is, and we'll be going, what the hell? What do you say? I don't know. Here's some money. And what are you going to do? I don't like it. And I don't like it more than playing in Brazil. I don't like it's on a Friday. A Friday? I got to take off on a Friday now? Anyways. So it looks like the Eagles could be, I'm sorry, I'm in one of those moods today. It could be a situation where you have to calculate the calculations, and hopefully somehow it works out for us. Who the hell knows? Now, there's a couple interesting things happening right now. We're starting to hear players' names that the Eagles could potentially pursue, and a lot of opinions of writers and sports analysts and football analysts telling us what they think the Eagles might do. One of the ones that I truly believe is going to happen, and I totally am buying into as possibly being likely, is this one right here that was posted up by Jacob Sport. Shout out to them. They said, Sports Illustrated, Ed Kratz says, Vic Fangio might try to get one of his favorite linebackers, Andrew Van Ginkel, to Philly, and possibly safety Deshaun Elliott. Now, Deshaun Elliott doesn't really excite me that much, but I think Van Ginkel, man, I think Van Ginkel's coming to Philly. Like, if you had to say one player that you think definitely ends up in Philly that we've been talking about, I think Van Ginkel. I think that's going to happen. I don't know for sure. It just seems like there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of fire, and we know for a fact, that Vic Fangio likes him. I think that this is very, very possible happening, and it just makes sense. The Eagles need a linebacker, but they're not going to go spend an enormous amount of money for like a Patrick Queen or somebody. Although I would love to go out and get Patrick Queen. They're not going to do that. So what are they going to do? They're going to get a middle-of-the-road linebacker, pay him a little bit of money, and I think Van Ginkel fits the bill. Now, what's great about Van Ginkel is he can be an edge rusher. He could be off-the-ball linebacker. He knows Fangio's system well, and he does a good job with it. So I would actually think that's a decent signing. It's got to go along with other signings, of course, but I think that this right now is the most likely player to end up in the Eagles out of all the players that are being floated around out there. Now, of course, the Eagles will do something. Howie will calculate the calculations of the cornbread mother humpers, and he'll sit there and we'll go, oh, well, we didn't see that coming. That's what normally happens. But I do think Van Ginkel has a really good chance of becoming an Eagle. And I'm okay with it. It doesn't make me want to go jump out of a cake. Woo! But, I'm like, all right, it's purely an upgrade. No doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. But the Eagles got a lot of things to figure out. Of course, we know about Devontae Smith and his contract extension. You got Landon Dickerson's going to need a contract extension. You're going to have to rework our boy Hassan Reddick extension out because they got to keep Hassan Reddick. You're going to have all these things to do. One other guy that we haven't really talked about a lot that I want to talk about for a second is one Avonte Maddox. All right, Avonte Maddox, he's always injured with his big-ass toes, always hurt. I've never seen a guy that goes into training camp every day is out because of a big-ass toe. Every day the guy's got a hurt toe, and it keeps him out of practice. Then you get a situation where it's not just the toe, it's other things. And Avonte Maddox, I mean, he's like $22.5 million contract a few years ago. There was an article written about this by Matt Lombardo. It said Eagles could ask $22.5 million veteran to take a pay cut or get cut. And the guy that they're talking about is Avonte Maddox. Here's a little bit of what they said about it. Given the fact that Maddox only produced 12 total tackles in 5 games last season, the timing might be right for Roseman and the Eagles to approach him about a contract restructure. Reworking Maddox's contract could create additional spending flexibility for the Eagles, currently projected to have $19.93 million in cap space, and some stability for Maddox entering 2024. Now, if the Eagles could approach Avonte Maddox, in my opinion, and restructure his deal and keep him, I would actually be okay with that. And the reason why is this. I know Isaiah Rodgers is coming, and I expect him to really take over that Avonte Maddox role. But, you got to get rid of Trashberry, right? You got to get rid of him. I think it's going to be hard to get rid of James Bradbury and Slay. But you could get rid of Trashberry, right? And a lot of people want to go out and get Snead and do all these things. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping Avonte Maddox in terms of a depth piece, but you would have to restructure. Now, if the Eagles were to restructure with Avonte Maddox, that would create about $4.4 million in cap space. Okay? And if you're saying to yourself, well, that's not that great, well, then you could cut him, right? So you restructure. If he doesn't want to restructure or you want more cap space, then you just got to either trade him or cut him. Now, if the Eagles post June 1st were to, let's say, cut cut Maddox, he would save the Eagles, and this would be a post June 1st cut. He would save the Eagles $7.1 million in cap space. $7.1 million in cap space. You figure you restructure Hassan Reddick, that's $11 million. You cut Bayard, you save $14 million. All of a sudden, you're creeping into the $40 million worth of cap space, right? Then you pick up Devontae Smith's contract, was it May? And you pick up that option year, you extend Landon Dickerson, and then you wait a little bit and you extend Devontae Smith. The Eagles can make this all work with still having the ability to go out and get guys. But I think Avonte Maddox is one of those guys where the Eagles should look to rework a deal. And if he wants to stay as a depth piece, fine. If not, you either cut him or you trade him with the post designation of June 1st. They've got to do that. But keeping Maddox, in my opinion, on a secondary that was horrible last year, and if you have him with Isaiah Rodgers and you have just the flexibility of having guys with some depth on the team that can move around and stuff like that, I think that would be a great idea. You're also going to have second year of Eli Ricks and Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked all over your grave. Kylie Ringo, he's going to be a good player in my opinion. But these guys need to go out and play. I still think you could draft a cornerback in the first round. And then, you don't know if the Eagles are going to make a big splash with a Snead or somebody at corner. We'll just have to see. I know everybody dreams of Patrick Surtain coming in a trade. I don't know about that. But the Eagles, we'll have to see what their idea at secondary is. But if you could restructure Maddox and then keep him and have him as a depth piece with Isaiah Rodgers and the rest of the guys, I think you do it. This secondary was so bad last year. They need all the help that they can get. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. I love what's going on with the Cowboys. I love it. Did you see this? Dov Kleiman saying, well, this came from the Schultz report, that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott might have a contract worth up to $60 million a year. $60 million a year for Dak Prescott. A choker. And then you get Cowboy fans are like, he deserves it. He's a great quarterback. He does this, he does that, he does everything. I've never seen a quarterback who gets a free pass every year you choke in the playoffs. No matter what, he comes out in the playoffs, he throws a pick six, they choke, and it's never his fault. Keep doing your thing, Dallas, because it's going to be a long, long time before you even sniff an NFC Championship game. I say $80 million a year for Dak Prescott. Sign him to a lifetime contract. Denzel Washington out.